Hey guys, are you ready to have fun at the 7 o'clock show?
Hey, welcome to Spooky Friday.
I didn't get a chance to put my costume on yet, but it's going to be fun anyway.
In the name of the moon, I will punish you. Haha.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a grunt party.
You can't tell, but I'm dead on the inside.
Welcome everybody to our Halloween show. And already the spooks are out and the ghouls and the poltergeists interfering with our usual song. But we will proceed anyway and make the best of it. We thank you all for coming. And we are happy that we are here tonight for our special Halloween shows. Those of you who are live on Zoom, we invite you to join and participate with us as we always do. And those of you who are watching on YouTube, hi YouTube, you can just sit back and watch as you always do, but you can also do those YouTube things like and subscribe and participate that way if you choose. We think that you will best enjoy this show in speaker view if you're watching on Zoom, although as you'll see, we've got a new spotlight feature that we've already begun to play with, and so you may see us using a lot more of that. But if we don't have that going, you can go up in the corner there and click on view and switch over to speaker view. And then, of course, very important is the chat feature. You'll find the button right below you to get the chat feature going, which puts the chat over there, and you can type in lots of interesting things to give us suggestions that we will ask for as the show progresses, as you well know. And just to make sure those fingers are working right, let's test it out. What is your favorite Halloween trick that you would play? We've got trick or treat, but I'll go with tricks. What are Halloween tricks that you've enjoyed? And so we'll let a few of those come in just to make sure that you've got your chat working. And while we're doing that, I have to tell you about the exits. You may need to flee. A monster could arise at any time and you have to get out of your house. You know how to do that. You know where the exits are. Use them if you have to. And bathrooms, likewise. You know where they are. Use them if you have to, but no monsters there. We very much hope. Hey, we've got a great show for you tonight, including our wonderful door person, Carrie. I'm your host, Ian, tonight, and I've got a great cast for you. I've got Candace.
Yow!
I've got Daniel.
You wait. Arr!
I've got Audrey.
Welcome to the show.
I've got Amy. Who's muted?
But of course, there's always my way.
I've got Tim.
Who's ready for something infinite?
I've got John.
Who's ready for some spooks and scares tonight?
I've got some volunteers, hopefully, as things progress, and I've got a very special one of you, which is our FAM, our featured audience member, which we will draw from the FAM Cup.
Bam.
Cup.
Yes, our featured audience member will join us for an interview, and we'll find out more about you, and what we find out about you will inspire us throughout the show. So, Carrie, who do we have tonight as our FAM?
From my maraschino cherry jar, I pulled Haley.
Haley, all right, let's get Haley on board.
So, yay, Haley! Who is with? Oh, there she is.
Hi, Haley.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
There we go. Haley, say hi, Haley. Oh, I'm not hearing audio. See if we can get audio for Haley.
Oh no, we have no audio.
No audio, just video.
Oh,
What's...
how about now?
we hear you now, Haley. All right. So, Haley, Candace and Daniel are going to ask you some questions and just answer very simply and enjoy your interview.
Hello, Haley. How are you today?
Good.
Good. Haley, when you wake up in the morning, you've gotten yourself ready, you've had your day. What is the first thing you do when you go downstairs?
Eat breakfast.
Ooh, what is it that you eat?
Mostly pancakes.
Mostly pancakes. They just make plenty of pancakes and you eat mostly those. Nothing else with it. Do you a syrup or lemon or what do you do? I like a lemon. I pretend. I only like lemon because I'm pretending to be French. What do you put on your pancakes?
I would do syrup.
How much? A little? A lot?
A lot.
Oh.
I'm going crazy on sweetness.
Ooh, crazy on sweetness. Sweet, speaking of sweets, I have a sweet, sweet cat that has some questions for you.
All right. So I have a very important question. So I see that there's somebody off to the side. Could you tell me a little bit about this person that's hiding in the corner there behind
He's
you?
my dad.
What?
His name is Sean.
Uh-huh.
He usually goes in the fan cup too.
Oh, he's been in the fan cup before. I didn't know that. I totally did know that. If you could describe your dad, Sean, in 3 words, what would they be?
Well, I guess my dad's very smart.
Nice. Very smart.
Nice. Dad likes this too. He's like, good. I still seem smart to my daughter. I'm doing something right, as they say. I have to ask, what is the most exciting thing that has happened to you recently?
School.
School is exciting. Are you going there or are you doing from home?
I go there.
You go to school? And what is the most exciting part? So you walk in the building and who are you excited to see?
My teacher.
What is their name?
Miss Lynch.
Miss Lynch. And how would you describe Miss Lynch?
She wants us to tap out words.
Oh.
And she likes doing morning meeting.
Ooh.
Like we usually do.
Do you do greeting at morning meeting?
Yes.
What's your favorite greeting?
The good morning song.
Sing me the good morning song. I feel like I need to hear it.
I forgot all the words.
Okay, fair enough. That's why it's such a good song, because it's a new experience every time. What do you say, Katis?
Yeah, that's the best. The best is new experiences every time. So, in keeping with that, do you have anybody at your school where you would think, this person is not too nice?
Yes, Malia, because she didn't actually really talk to me that much.
She didn't talk to you that much.
She's not a big talker.
Oh, not a big talker. Well, sometimes that's okay. It could be so much worse. That's so awesome. Now, when you are done with your day at school and you're heading home, when you walk in the door, what's the first thing you do?
Watch YouTube.
Ooh, you watch some YouTube. What is your favorite YouTube channel to watch? Like, what type of videos do you like to watch?
PBNR Frags, which is Preston Plays.
Preston Plays.
And of course, we know you like to watch reruns of our show because that's what anybody does on YouTube. Yes?
Yeah.
Haley, let me ask you. Let's say it's a year from now. Everything is all back and happy, and you get to go on one big vacation. Where is the vacation place you want to go?
California.
California. Well, that's a big state. Where would you like to go in California? What is there to see?
I guess the Ferris wheel. Yes.
Ferris wheels in California are very cool.
I do.
It's very toasty over there in California. I have one more question. Oh, never mind.
No, I think we've got a lot on the board, right, Audrey?
Sure thing, boss.
Okay, so we will go with everything you've led us to find out about you, Haley, and you get to see it all played out in front of you. In fact, we will start with a spooky day in your life, Haley. And maybe we'll have Candace, instead of asking that last question, she'll find her own answer because she will play you in this scene as we get to see what a day looks like, but not a normal day, but a spooky day in your life. As Candace and Daniel will be your very smart dad, getting you ready for the day.
Honey,
Wow.
what would you like for brand pancakes? Which kind of famous pancakes would you like today? You know, I've got brain pancakes. Yeah. Or eyeball pancakes. Yeah. Or I chopped an entire tree down and we'll ring it out above your pancakes. It'll be fun. Yeah.
If you could put like the big toe pancakes and then combine them with my pinky finger pancake, that would be perfect.
Yes. Okay. Big toe, pinky finger on its way. I'll get that flipping along for you. No problem. You got everything ready for school?
Yeah, I have all of my homework done. Everything is good to go. I'm ready. I'm so excited.
Okay. Whoa. 26 stacks of pancakes, mostly toenail and fingernail. Here you go.
Yes, it's the best. These are the best pancakes ever. I especially like it when you ring out an entire tree on my pancakes.
Hey, that's the smart thing to do as your smart dad.
Oh,
You full?
wow.
Are you ready for school?
I might have eaten that too fast, but yes, I'm ready to go. I gotta go sing a good morning song. I'm ready to roll.
All right, I'm gonna catapult you on the way to school. Hold on.
And at school, we find Audrey playing Miss Lynch and Amy playing the scary Millie.
Okay, so here we go. Okay, all two of my students are here. That's great. All right, so now we're going to tap out some words. So if everybody could please put on their tap shoes, we're going to dance the night away, okay?
I'm so excited. Aren't you, Millie? Are you excited?
No.
I expect nothing less from my reticent student, Millie. So, all right. So the first word we're going to tap out is reticent, because I just learned that today. All right. That's a step to the left and then a little sachet. All right. Do you think you can try that? Okay.
Okay.
Millie and Haley?
So we got like a little bit of a slide to the left and then a sachet. We have to put a hatchet to the right.
Well, it's a step to the left and then a jump to the right. That'll be next.
Oh.
I thought I needed to bring my satchel.
Oh, yes.
Here.
Thank you.
I've got extra
Satchel.
body parts in it.
I was looking for these. Thank you so much.
Those are the ones that talk too much.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All these mouths and tongues. I'm just going to put those over here. I think that the next word we have to learn how to spell is boo, like a ghost, so we can communicate with them. All right.
Fine.
Okay. The way you spell it in tap dance is, yeah, you do a swoop, and you do a swish.
Okay, so you scoop the fish.
Scoop the fish. All right. Whatever helps you learn, Haley.
Yep. I like to rhyme. It helps me remember.
Oh, don't scoop the fish out of the fish tank, though, Haley.
Oh,
It needs to stay in the water.
I'm sorry.
That's our class pet.
Put them back.
It's been through a lot.
Wait. Give him mouth to gill.
Oh, Millie. You are a student of words, but
But every school day eventually ends, and Haley must find her way home. Only when she leaves the school, there's a strange fog. A mist has enveloped things, and she gets lost on her way home and finds herself strangely having wandered into YouTube, where there are two strange YouTube characters played by Tim and John to greet her.
Could you pass me that other stuff in the satchel there, John?
Absolutely. Here is camera lenses.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my. This is so cool.
Yeah, we're the try to eat anything YouTube group. We're making so much money with this. It's not even funny.
Oh, what? That smells delicious. Could I try some?
Only if you subscribe.
No, give me now.
She can have some of the camera lens if you want. Give her the 70 millimeter.
Alrighty. Here you go.
John, I've been meaning to tell you about our subscriptions. I was thinking we'd probably hire Haley because I think she brings we'll have better demographics.
That's true. We've really been missing out on the school age children group.
Yeah.
So we need to work our way into that marketplace. So
And they
maybe
know
we
how
should
to-
try eating Play-Doh
Yes.
or
Yep.
glue.
Oh, Play-Doh is delicious. Take it from me, from a girl who knows. Play-Doh is so tasty, but they're not all exactly the same. Every color has a different flavor.
And what are your thoughts on glue?
Well, see, it gets very complicated. So if you take glue that's made from fisherman's toes, and then you add that with mud from the first rainy day in autumn, you combine those two together, perfection.
I'm intrigued. How do you know this at such a young age?
Because her dad is an awesome chef.
Hey.
And scene. Well, Haley, that's what your day looks like, but it's not that ordinary day. Hey, guys, we're here every Friday night for you, free of charge. We love bringing you the shows. We know you love coming and watching them. And while they are free, we do accept donations. There are a couple of ways you can do that. You can use Venmo and go to Bring Your Own Improv, or you can use PayPal and go to BYOI. Or if you don't want to write these down real quick, you can always go to our webpage, bringyourownimprov.com, click the button there that says donate online, and go through everything there at your leisure. Hey, we always appreciate it when people choose to do that. We thank you, Sherry, for your donation, and anybody else who feels like it. We appreciate it, but of course not necessary. Just if you feel up to it. All right. Hey, now's our first game where we accept volunteers. And in the spirit of Halloween, we're going to be playing Venus flytrap phrase, because two of our players are going to be trapped into saying the same things over and over again. Yes, two of our players, one of our cast, and possibly one of you will only have one question and one statement. That's all they'll be able to say. One of our players, Daniel, will be able to say whatever he wants in this scene, but the rest will be trapped to repeat the same things over and over. So if somebody wants to volunteer, it's very easy because you don't have to think of what to say. We tell you what it is you can say. One question, one statement, and you play the scene that way. Go ahead and type in the chat, hey, I want to play, or count me in, or some other way. Let us know you want to be on board. And I'm not seeing anyone, so John, why don't you come in and join? Oh, actually, no, the Grim Reaper is ready, so let's bring in the Grim Reaper. All right, so let's find out what it is that these people can ask and say. What are some questions that you might hear at a funeral? Questions that you might hear at a funeral. Let's go ahead and type them in the chat. And then I would like a statement that you might say if you found yourself in some lost, strange land. And statement for some strange land. And all right. So Candace, your question is going to be, where is the food?
Where is the food? That's typecasting.
All right. And your statement is going to be, I guess no pancakes for today, since you're thinking about food.
I guess no pancake today. Okay.
All right. And Grim Reaper, your question is going to be, did you know her well?
Did you know her well?
Did you know her well? And your statement is going to be, what a funky aura.
What a funky aura.
Okay, so just repeat, make sure you've got them. Candace?
Where is the food?
And your statement?
I guess no pancakes today.
And Grim Reaper Corey, your question?
I forgot, what was it again?
So your question is, did you know her well?
Oh, did you know her well?
Okay, and your statement?
That's a funky aura.
What a funky aura. All right. We had some suggestions of tricks, and one thing that came up a lot was garlic. So this is going to be at a garlic ranch. You're going to be a crew at a garlic ranch.
Well, there, you two. Been a long day, but we've been able to eat up our lunch, and it'll be coming soon. But before we get it, I need you two to go rustle up some of them garlic over there. I'm getting a little excited.
I guess no pancakes today.
Well, not yet. I mean, you never know what Grams will bring in. Maybe she'll bring in some pancakes or really mess us up and give us some waffles. I mean, who even likes them? Maybe she'll bring them over just some sausage or some vegetarian sausage.
Where is the food?
I don't know. Graham hasn't brought it yet. I'm upset as well. Have you gotten out there and rustled up any of them garlic yet?
That's a funky aura.
Yeah, that is. That garlic's got some funky aura. I mean, look at her jumping around there. You got to grab that garlic by both sets of the cloves and hold on as hard as you can as it rides you along the desert there.
Where's the food?
Well, if you're going for the garlic, it's running across the field. But if you want something to eat, I say, Grams, I got. You know what the problem is? She's probably riding one of them garlics around here, you know?
Did you know her well?
I do know my grandmother very well. Yes, you should know her too. I mean, she's been with us for a very long time, as long as I can remember.
That's a funky...
I guess no pancakes today.
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, you know what? Garlic doesn't go very well in pancakes. We thought about it, but we realized that the taste doesn't go. Maybe they're Italian garlic pancakes. Maybe that's it. I think they call them crepes or something like that. I don't know my countries well. Hey, did you let go of that that garlic is too young for you to be doing. You got to get one of them older garlics. They're ready for ripe. That one still needs to grow.
That's a funky aura.
That's a funky smell. It's called garlic. It's not supposed to go up the nose and burn that bad.
Where's the food?
Well, honey, if you don't go get it, we won't have any harvest for it. So why don't you go get some of them and you can put some in your pancakes?
Did you know
I
her?
guess no pancakes today.
No, not if you don't catch them today. If you catch them tomorrow, then you can have them pancakes tomorrow.
Did you know her well?
Well, I knew that little garlic since it was first born. I saw it on the edge of that clove, and I said, that garlic is going to grow up and be a mighty fine garlic. I'll say, yes, I did.
That's a funky.
Where is the food?
I know, dear. It'll be here soon. Grandma clearly decided to go ahead and ride one of them garlics over. And for all we know, she went over to pasta farm. You know, that's the way. She's a pasta farmian, as she is.
That's a funky aura.
Yes, I gotta say, pasta farmians have a very funky odor indeed, I say.
I guess no pancakes today.
Yes, you're gonna have to eat one of them garlic out there if you can catch them.
That's right. That's right. No pancakes, because pasta and garlic do not make good pancakes. That's for sure. All right. Now we move on to a grim place. We go to the Dungeon of Torture. And in the Dungeon of Torture, one of our cast, that will be Audrey, will have done something terrible. And two players, one of us and possibly one of you, will have to ask the questions that will lead Audrey to guess what it is that she's done. They will interrogate her in the dungeon until she breaks and figures out what it is that she's done by guessing of the clues they've given her. So go, Audrey, go. I bid you farewell. So Amy will be one of our interrogators in the dungeon. And if one of you would like to join her by asking questions of our Audrey to give her clues as to what it might be that she's done. Oh, okay, I see Sean wants to play. So we can go ahead and bring Sean on. Sean, let's see if we can get your audio working.
Hopefully working better this time.
All right, sounds good, sounds good. All right, so now we have to find out what it is that Audrey has done to get herself banished to the dungeon. So first of all, what is, other than trick-or-treating, what is a fun Halloween activity that's never gotten anyone into trouble, isn't a crime at all, but is something that you've always enjoyed doing on Halloween? Go ahead and put that in the chat. Some ideas there. And as you're doing that, also I would like, what is a spooky location, like a graveyard? What is some place that you probably wouldn't want to find yourself after dark, late at night? And finally, if you could tell me one of your favorite fictional monsters or creatures or characters from a horror movie or cartoon. All right, so I see for the crime, I think bobbing for apples, getting apples out of a barrel, that's definitely a crime in these parts, and Audrey's done it. So getting apples out of a barrel. And where did this happen? I think it happened in a morgue where the dead wear costumes. So a morgue of costumed corpses. And who was her accomplice? Her accomplice, I think, was most definitely Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein's monster. So, interrogators, let's just recap that.
Audrey was getting apples out of the barrel at a morgue of costumed corpses with Frankenstein's monster.
Exactly. So we will fetch Audrey to go undergo this interrogation. You guys will all have to help her because as she's guessing, she'll need to know if she's on the right track. If Audrey's getting close, put a thumbs up on screen. Big thumbs up, and let her know she's on the right track, doing well. If she gets one, clap to let her know that yes, she succeeded. She's guessed one of the answers that she needs. So we bring on our nefarious criminal Audrey. Audrey, have you returned?
she is buying for apples.
Still waiting.
And the more costume
Oop.
for getting apples over there.
Okay, let's not repeat things now because she's coming back any moment.
Yeah, you can grill me as long as you want, but you're never gonna make me talk.
Not gonna grill you. Toast you first, then maybe sizzle. You know.
Yeah, nice saute. Yeah,
Just
you
a
like
nice
that?
saute.
All right.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. So, Bob. I believe that's what I'll be calling you.
All right. All right, sounds good. I won't object.
Looks like you didn't fall far from the tree.
Well, you know, my dad was an orchard man.
Mm-hmm.
He was really the type to he listen. The farm's growing up. I miss those days so much. But you know that would never influence my day-to-day life at all.
Of course not. I mean, some people use them for laughs. Some people use them for monkeys. Some people use them for shooting fish.
Yeah, exactly.
All kinds of uses.
Yep, you know, plants in general, they have so many uses. Me as for one, you know, you could swing from them like Tarzan on a vine. You can use them in your medicines, in your you can use them to grow fruit even. A very bold choice.
I like fruit. You clearly like fruit.
Oh yes, yeah.
I mean, you could have gone to, you know, most people go to a produce department. Or, you know, some people just take their pick. But no, you had to go to you know, you couldn't even go to the store.
All right, so I'll admit it, like I know I said I wouldn't talk, but I cannot resist talking about apple picking.
Okay.
Kind of
Wait. Let's just take that first part.
Right, yeah.
Just hold on to that one little piece. Okay?
Right. Like an apple, yeah.
Exactly. Because after all, we are talking about an activity with this.
Of course.
Of course.
I mean, like, you know, even in a non-criminal capacity, I'm always carrying around apples in case I need a projectile, in case
But you took that from it obviously just holding one isn't an issue, but you actually obtained that from a vessel, from a cask, if you will.
Yeah, as one usually does, huh? Everybody gets apples from...
Now, I mean, like I said, some people would use these casks to shoot fish. Some people would use these to, you know, to contain laughs. Some people would use these to store monkeys. Plastic ones that just kind of...
Just because I stole an apple from an apple barrel does not mean that I'm a bad guy. Illegally obtaining fruit from buckets, that's just my jam. That's what I do. So if you have a problem with that...
Let's go back to that other, that other term. Because it wasn't specifically a cask for that particular fruit, even though you did happen to obtain that fruit from that vessel.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are very particular about what they call their containers, so it's very important that this barrel had an apple in it, which I stole.
You know, it's almost like there were audience suggestions to populate this. Some people might call those audience suggestions some other term. That's a verb, but they're using it as a noun.
So when one obtains, one tends to also get, correct? I
We
think
just
it's
made
all
that a gerund.
me. Who, me getting an apple from a barrel, retrieving a fruit from a
Now-
container? Of course.
Okay, more than one of those items. 'Cause
All
I'm
right,
not sure why
fine.
I'm not
Like
sure
a
why they're not
bunch.
clapping you out. I'm thinking it's close enough, but
You got me. I've taken more than one apple from a
no, go back
barrel.
to the other verb. Go back to the other.
I
gerund.
have gotten.
No,
I-
the gerund.
You guys and your grammar rules. You guys are gonna drive me up a wall. So I have been getting, to use the past continuous form of the verb.
Yeah.
I have been getting apples from a barrel regularly on a regular basis.
I'm a little confused because that's pretty much what I had written down, and they're not clapping you out. So there we go. Okay.
I finally confessed. What more do you want?
I don't know. I don't know when we reviewed. That's exactly what I said. But hey, but it's not so much just doing that. Of course.
Of course, you're going to keep me here after my
course.
grave confession.
It's the location. Now it's actually the location where you did this.
Barrel City.
Moment. Barrel City. No, that would be too obvious. And
I know.
we're not obvious here. I've got a 20-minute round last week that says we're not obvious here. But
You slay me,
Hold
cop
on.
number one.
Funny you use that term, because there are others who have been slain here. And a moment of silence for them. It's a little chilly. You might want to put a wrap on or something.
Yeah. No, I know that I was certainly bundled up when I did my crime. And that's because in the within a haunted house.
Oh no. That's kind of too active. How we were talking about storage earlier?
Of course, I'm well versed in containers.
Yeah. So, well, this is like, kind of like storage units. Kind of a storage wars, but for the slain.
Oh, detective, I feel like you're trying to lead me to say something that I swore never to confess.
I know.
But indeed, the catacombs aren't going to explore themselves.
Oh, catacombs are for fancy people. We're talking more of a
more pedestrian burial place.
More of a pedestrian, maybe in a hospital, maybe in well, I guess technically on a ship, or somewhere, some cold storage.
So I'll make a note that you don't know about my catacombs crimes. Okay. But indeed, I did have to put on my jacket when I wanted to take these apples from the morgue.
Hold that.
I think I just rose from the dead right now. I think I finally rose from the dead. I'm sorry that.
Whoa.
Oh, my partner decided to come off his coffee break.
There's another detective in here. Fascinating.
So,
except for it's kind of Halloween, so I got to stay in my costume. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Happy Halloween, officer.
Yeah, is that piece I told you to hold?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
just put me in it. I need to get more involved here.
All right. You can definitely ask as many questions as you want about the morgue and the refrigerators therein.
Because, well, no, it's not just a storage just not a storage place for just anyone who's been slain.
Of course.
Of course not.
Naturally.
It's
I'd
pretty darn.
I'd probably call it a Halloween version of what you'd expect it to be, you know?
Right. The spooky morgue as opposed to the average morgue for
Or
every
any
day.
actor, anyone in interesting garb.
All right.
Anyone.
I think there's other words for that.
Every now and then, I like to pay a visit to the morgue where all the dead bodies are wearing costumes, just to lift my spirits, because I think it's fun. But that's not a crime, is it?
Well, for some, but
I guess it depends on who you're doing it with.
exactly.
Oh, you know about the accomplice then?
Could be
What
quite
about-
shocking to find out about him.
Yeah, yes, very shocking. Yes. Shocking like like Zeus, much like a god of thunder. But that's how I felt.
Yes, of course. But I know you were
This
keeping
whole
your
thing is making me
messages.
very green. I'm feeling very queasy over this whole thing.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, if you're feeling seasick, there's not much I can do about that situation. Because, you have me in handcuffs.
You know what? It's the end of Oktoberfest. I'm going to pour myself a root beer in this German vessel.
Excellent, excellent. All right.
Ollie, Ollie, Ollie. Oi, oi, oi.
I see that you've brought your Stein to work.
I did.
Interesting.
I did. To be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, I appreciate your candor, honestly. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
She's being very frank.
My partner just gives it all away.
That's great because I couldn't hear a word he said.
So we'll speak honestly with this vessel.
Okay. So we will. This is a, truth Stein, as it were. One who.
What pairs better than a hot dog? Nice hot dog in a bun. A wiener.
Like
a sausage.
I think you're getting in the ballpark here.
Yes, of course. So me, a noted baseball fan.
Yes.
After we watched the game, you
kind of want to assemble this all together.
Of course. I know you guys are trying to get me to talk, and I want this interrogation to be over with as soon as the next person.
Just want to eat, drink, and be merry.
Exactly. That's what we all want right now. You with your Stein.
Not just any.
Because
you brought a
different
one.
Year.
You did this with a different one.
Right, of course.
Yes.
There someone whose name,
like that ballpark hot dog.
Exactly like that hot dog.
Didn't Gene Wilder play him in a movie? I can't remember.
He was young then.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
He was very young then.
Interesting. Okay, right. That's I remember. So back me.
Yeah.
And me and Frankenstein go way back.
Yes, except we're getting claps, but no, we're gonna hold those claps because it's technically not that. there's a little more to it. Because
A
he
little
was
more
he was
raw, you know what I mean?
unemployed. He was unemployed, and he went to a famous, job website to apply, something.com.
Can you give me that energy drink over there? I'm getting kind of long.
Exactly. Here you
Can
go,
you give me
Doc.
that energy drink?
Yep. Go ahead.
Well, Frankenstein was trying to update his LinkedIn profile.
No. Not, sorry, not that kind. Like you to, not where employers find you, where you go to find jobs.
Well, that's exactly why Frankenstein needed to use Indeed.
Maybe
Yeah.
go back to the energy drink for a second there.
It's not the doctor. It's his creation out of spare body parts.
Yeah, of course.
Together.
Yeah, no, I can't be confused.
We're proper here.
Right. Yeah. Far be it from me to confuse Victor Frankenstein with Frankenstein's monster. Of course. Of course I wouldn't do that.
Finally.
Of course.
Let's
hear that. Let's hear that full confession.
All right, fine. You got it out of me after like 6 hours. I have been getting apples from barrels in a costume morgue with Frankenstein's monster, not Frankenstein.
Well, I'm not sure we're going to let her out of the dungeon. I think that crime calls for a lot more torture, but we won't have to watch it. So we move on instead. Those might have been Audrey's last words for a while, but now we're going to hear some other last words, some famous last words that people, places, things may have said before they left us. In famous last words, all of my cast and possibly a few of you will be in a virtual lineup. You'll all be on screen, and if you have a famous last word for the thing that I give to you, you'll say, me. Hold up your hand until I call on you. When I call on you, you come forward and give the famous last word for the person, place, or thing that we give it. So, for instance, if it's Frankenstein's monster, famous last words could be, "Oh, what a shocking way to end," as the bolts get hit with lightning, or something like that. So, who would like to join us for this lineup and come up with some famous last words? Waiting. All right. So we'll see. All right, the Grim Reaper wants to rejoin us. We can take more if somebody else wants to, but we can go ahead and have Corey, our Grim Reaper, back on. And let's get a few things that we can hear last words about. So what is an occupation or a job that is something that you think is a little bit spooky or suspicious or questionable? And go ahead and put some of those in the chat. Or just something that you wouldn't want to have to do after dark. Who is a famous historical figure that has already died? Some famous person who has died. So you can put some of those in, as well as the jobs. And finally, what are some objects that if you were like an Egyptian pharaoh, you were buried with your possessions, the things that you might need in the afterlife, what are some things that you would like to be buried with? What are some objects that you'd like to take with you beyond the grave? We can put a few of those in there. And so, might possibly get some of those, more of those things in. We will start out with famous last words, very ironically, of a mortician. Famous last words of a mortician.
Me.
Daniel.
Hey, what's it like inside this fridge?
Me.
Amy.
Jeez, it's absolutely dead in here.
Me.
Tim.
Hey, Clarice, could you pass the ketchup?
Me.
Grim Reaper Corey.
Why do I want to see more dead people get inside the cemetery?
Me.
John.
Just use the 9-inch scalpel.
Me.
Amy.
Forensics isn't enough. I'm gonna go for 5 and 6.
Me.
Daniel.
All right, which one of these was my drink and which one was formaldehyde?
Me.
Tim.
So you're saying I should take less Tish out?
Okay, now let's go to famous last words of Prince. Prince, the singer and musician that left us young in life. Famous last words.
Me.
Daniel.
Yeah, that's not what you call me anymore.
All right. Famous last words of a dog.
Hey.
Corey. That is what they would say, yes.
Me.
Amy.
Well, I guess I won't be raising the rough much longer.
Me.
Tim.
Hey, they said it was okay that I could sleep on the cat's bed.
Me,
Candace.
semi-related.
Hey.
I'm gonna go poke the cat. I don't see what could go wrong.
Hey.
Corey.
Get your dogs out of my kitchen.
Me.
Daniel.
So you want me to chase that stick? The stick that has the little flame that's sizzling in the end? You're gonna throw it and I'll catch it and bring it back? Okay.
Me.
Tim.
No, I ain't following that coyote. I know what happened to him last time.
All right. So famous last words of a crossing guard.
Me.
Tim.
Go.
Hey.
Corey.
Thou shall not cross. You shall only stay where you are.
Me.
Daniel.
So I'm just gonna step outside these little white lines.
Me.
Amy.
Oh, I don't understand why my odds keep going down as I watch that whiteboard.
Me.
Daniel.
I'm colorblind. Did I bring the green sign or the red sign to work?
Famous last words of a French horn.
Me.
Daniel.
Le tout.
Hey.
Corey.
Oh, this French horn is not working.
Tim.
Me.
Daniel.
I'd like to play in the symphony, but I surrender.
Me.
John.
Sacre bleu, the German horn has double-crossed me.
Me.
Daniel.
Oh, that trumpet with the white stripe painted down it. I'm sure it's the same as me and we'll fall in love in Paris. Oh, it smells funny.
All right. Well, you can never go wrong with the Pepe Le Pew joke. Am I? All right. Thank you all for those. Now we move on to a game which tonight we're calling Reincarnate, because we're going to do remakes of a movie scene. We're going to do a movie and we're going to see it be reincarnated as two more movies of different kinds. So I can take one person who wants to join us in a movie scene. If you would like to do that, go ahead and put yourself in the chat and we will get you in. And if not, then I would like to see actually Candace and John. And Audrey, what's something that we haven't gotten to on the board that we really ought to get to?
Ferris wheel, definitely.
Ferris wheel. We have not seen a Ferris wheel whatsoever, and it's about time that we do. So, Candace, John, your suggestion is Ferris wheel.
Okay. So when you pull the lever, all right, you have to make sure you pull the lever and you push the safety button. It's the most important part.
But how can I do that? The safety button and the shake the entire Ferris wheel button are the same color.
I know it's complicated. Eventually, you'll just have to memorize where each of them is. I don't know. Did you read like the whatever packet they give you, the orientation packet. My God.
Well, I skimmed it because I waited until the night before I had to come here to read it. But I mean, it was just like, I did read the section where it showed you how to not make it fall off the hinges and roll, causing havoc like in a cartoon. But
that's fine then. That's fine. That's really the most important one. Like the shaking is just, it just makes people scream more, As long as we don't like take the hinges off and they roll around, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And the screaming's the most fun part. The naysayers are just they're just too uptight about it.
Don't tell the boss, but that is actually my favorite part. Like, no one's listening right now, so I can tell you that when I pushed that button, when I first started, I went full hyena, cackled for days.
I even wrote an op-ed about shaking and screaming on Ferris wheels.
Nuh-uh. And now you have a job working on Ferris wheels? This is like you're immersing yourself.
I know. How I'd call it full circle, but it's way more like full Ferris wheel.
Wow. Ferris wheels and circles, they're so different. So different. Like you're blowing my mind right now.
I know. Isn't geometry so meta?
I know, isn't geometry so meta? Always a thoughtful closing line. I know, isn't geometry so meta? Well, that was our thoughtful Ferris wheel movie, but it was decided that it was a bit too simple and we need to spice it up a little bit. You guys can help me spice it up by putting in the chat right now some of your favorite movies or movie genres. If you go ahead and put those in and put in some ideas. And if I can get Daniel and Audrey to come out. And we will see what that movie looks like if it were a spacefaring fantasy. A spacefaring fantasy.
So you have to remember to keep separate the brake for the spaceship and the shaking button for the spaceship.
But First Officer Golok, they are the same color. How will I be able to tell them apart?
Well, I mean, it's important for all of us that are in here. We don't want to shake our lunch crazy, or what about all the abductees? They'll fall out of their chairs and we won't be able to be like, ha, you've seen us.
That is very unfortunate, First Officer. Indeed, in that case, I will have to put some numbers on these buttons in order to differentiate them.
Yes. In the meantime, I'm going to put numbers on the different parts of the ship so that in case we decide to start taking it apart and then it'll roll out of control and we don't know where we're going and everyone will be screaming.
That's pretty exciting. To be quite honest, I rarely show emotion, but in this moment, I do want to show extreme gratitude because I wrote an op-ed about spaceships before this, and I'm very honored to have a part of one.
Well, we let you onto a spaceship after you had written about a spaceship? My word, that's deep in so many ways. Each one of my tentacles is tingling with excitement.
I know. Do you think that perhaps the screams of our captured people, do you think that they could power this ship if we had enough of them?
Yes, I'm sure screams do power a ship. I'm sure screams create electricity, and we will never get sued for saying that by Disney.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Especially the part about getting sued.
Yes. No, that's good. I mean, we should really just knock them out and take the time right out of that so they don't remember. But yes, let's make them scream. What a brilliant idea. I can't believe we've got this whole ship spinning on that idea.
Thank you, First Officer. In that case, I think I will press both buttons.
Oh, wow. Look at the shape that brought us into.
Ugh, I know. I think that we're really in a pickle now.
Oh, yes, yes, an oblong sense. We went from a circle to an oblong. Maybe we'll go to a rhombus.
There's something I've been meaning to say, officer. Geometry is so meta.
Indeed.
Indeed, it is. Indeed, it is. And that space thriller certainly did a little bit better than that other movie, but it's such a good idea that, as Hollywood's prone to do, they reincarnated it yet again as Amy and Tim come to see us off with the final incarnation, the next sequel, which is, of course, a horror movie.
It's really weird because I don't hear any screams.
I think before we open the door to the basement, we should unlatch the safety button.
There. I see two buttons and I think they're the same color. One that I think it shakes the whole house. This is a spooky setup.
Well, we don't want to shake it while we're in it.
That's true, but is it possible that those shakes could help get us out of this house?
Okay. Go ahead and press it.
Okay.
That sound makes everything better.
Yeah. I don't feel as scary anymore now. I thought it was gonna be like a shake. It was just more like a rumble.
Go ahead and hit it again, actually.
All right. This reminds me of it's an op-ed I read in the newspaper about like how to color your buttons differently. But that did shake a little. Oh, now do you hear the screams?
I hear screams.
Yeah.
Coming from the basement. I kind of like them.
Yeah, I mean, they don't seem too bad. If we're going to be villainous, we should probably go down there and finish this, issue. Shall we shake it a little bit more? Really power the house with some screams.
Go ahead. We'll just bring this around full circle.
Look at you can hear them, man. Oh, they are stirred up. They're going to be so out of angle.
Oh.
Geometry is it's so meta.
Indeed it is. It's so meta. And the show, however, is very real, not meta at all. And we keep it coming to you free, but we do have some expenses, and it would always be nice if some of you wish to contribute to help us defray those. So I will remind you again, for those of you who were interested in doing so, of the ways in which you can do that. There is Venmo, Mo. There is PayPal, pal. And there is bringyourownimprov.com. So now we move on to a strange place which we call tonight the hearse stop. And at the hearse stop, we will have one person who is waiting for a hearse to come by. Something bad has happened, but that person will be greeted by another person who joins them. And the second person will be some interesting characters, have some big characteristics. And the first person who is there will begin to take on those characteristics that the second person displays. They will interact with each other for a little bit, sharing the camaraderie of two like-minded people. And then the first person will find a reason to leave and leave that second person behind. The second person will then have another person come on and take on the characteristics of that person. So I can take up to 3 volunteers, people who wish to join us and take on strange and interesting characters. And our Grim Reaper Corey wants to come on one more time. this is the last game that you can volunteer in. So let's have Corey unmuted. And let's see. And I see that he's apparently the only one we've got. So the order in which we'll have people is Candace, then Daniel, then Corey, then Audrey, then Amy, then Tim, and finally John. So with Candace awaiting, let us see what happens at the hearse stop.
Da-da. Da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Baby shark. Baby shark. Baby shark. Baby shark. She's delayed.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna head out.
Bye.
I'm gonna head out. Do 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 do. Heading out. Do 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 do.
You want to come join me at the herb stop?
Yes, I can join you at the hearse stop.
First of all, you look into my eyes. You can see.
I look into your eyes, but I can't see them right now.
You can see your future in where my eyes are.
So I look, okay, am I looking into the mouth or the eye? It's just one big hole.
Yeah, it is one big hole indeed.
Okay, I'm gonna go look up Grim Reaper Anatomy and see whether or not I can find out where your eyes belong.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I want to suck your blood, but I fear that would be impolite.
I want to suck. I do not want you to suck my blood when it comes to you.
Well, it's, I know it's a personal preference, but, you know, maybe you have some spare grape juice?
Grape juice is not good for my skin when it comes to myself.
That's perfectly understandable. Maybe we could get something from the vending machine.
Speaking of that, I'm going to go right down there right now. Lou.
Okay.
Oh, good evening. Oh, the clouds moving and the moon's coming out.
Oh no, I didn't know it was a full moon. Oh!
Oh, clouds back. I'm sorry. That just tends to happen. Oh, there it goes.
Oh! Listen, I forgot to take my flea medication this morning. I think I have to go home and get that before the moon comes out again. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Well, hello. Where is? I was waiting for the 9:15. Where?
Oh.
Didn't it pass yet?
You're a little early for the 9:15. Usually people are late.
But I rushed over here, and my watch, it says 9:17. Look.
Oh, daylight savings time always messes me up. I've got to go fix my clock.
Here, oh, not again.
Oh no! The killer's coming after me!
Oh, and the bus is 15 minutes late. We gotta figure out a plan. All right, you hide under the bench. Nope.
Oh, it's almost like they're always after teenage girls!
Well, you can't be perpetually the teenager. I mean, I'm the one who's, you stay here, I'll go get help.
Go! Run upstairs! That's always the way to get away from the killer.
And there we go. always run, but you could never hide from the hearse stop. All right, fellow travelers, we have come to our final game of the evening. Oh. But as a special treat, I will let up to 3 of you volunteer for this game, which we call the question that will never die. And that question is why, which is the question that a child always uses when his parents try to explain things to him. So I'm going to have 2 of you at a time come up and try to explain something to me. And as one parent gives me a reason, I will ask the other one, why? And then when he tells me why, I will ask the other one, why? And when she tells me why, I will keep asking until a parent cannot come up with a suitable answer, something suitable for a child, and that I can accept and not be made uncomfortable by. So if some of you would like to join, you may volunteer, and Minnie Mouse will join us. Maureen will join us for this game. And that will be all for the moment. So for my first parents, I would like John and Tim to join me on the hot seat. To be followed by Maureen, Amy, Audrey, Daniel, and Candace. So if we could put Haley back on ever so briefly, if she is still with us, and it's not past her bedtime. If not, we can take Sean. Yes. So, Haley, since this was your show, we just want to make sure we covered everything that was important to you. Was there anything that you didn't see that you wanted to see, or something that you saw but you want to see more of?
Why?
Why? Well, you see lots of why. I guarantee you that. But why about what? What would you like to know why?
Because I like saying why.
Yeah, you say why.
Why you like-
and when you ask why, what are you trying to find out about?
I don't know. Why?
This is
Okay,
getting
okay,
very
that's fine.
mad right now.
All right. So, Parent John, why do I always ask why?
Because you are a very curious girl.
Why?
Because we raised you to be inquisitive.
Why?
Because the more you ask, the more you know.
Why?
Because knowledge is never really obtained unless you read a book.
Why?
Because then you can always refer back to the book if you ever forget stuff.
Why?
Because I really like reading the pictures and showing them to you.
Why?
Because it's the best way to get you to fall asleep.
Why?
Because we adults want to have fun.
Why?
Because our lives have become sad and miserable.
Oh, I don't want to hear about your sad and miserable life, Parent. Go away. Let's bring Parent Maureen up.
Here.
Parent Maureen, why do we prefer happy lives?
Because it's the best way to live.
Why?
Because that's why we take naps.
Why?
Oh, because we get tired and we need to rejuvenate.
Why?
Because we're raising you.
Why?
Because I'm very excited and so I take a lot of time from people.
Why?
Because you take so much energy.
Why?
Because I have a lot of adrenaline.
Why?
That's what coffee's for.
Why?
Because it gives you a lot of spunk.
Why?
Because I didn't go to bed at the right time.
Why?
Because you stayed up all night till 2 a.m.
Why?
Because you had coffee at 6 p.m.
Why?
Because he's crazy.
Why?
Because I'm crazy.
That's repetitive. Go away. Parent Amy. Why do people repeat themselves?
Because they muted themselves the first time.
Why?
Because we're human and we make errors.
Why?
Because it keeps people from thinking we're robots.
Why?
Because we have feelings.
Why?
Because that makes us more compassionate and more fun to be with.
Why?
Because we want to be nice to our fellow human beings.
Why?
Because it's nice to have people around.
Why?
Because we need friendships and companions.
Why?
Because the cats sometimes go off on their own.
Why?
Because they don't like being with us sometimes, and so we go get a dog.
Why?
Because dogs like you no matter what.
Why?
Because they're very, very good-hearted and sweet.
Why?
Because you've got treats.
Why?
Because we're nice owners to our furry friends.
Why?
Because we put a lot of money into that.
Why?
Because we just love their companionship so much.
Why?
Because they warm us up and we don't have to turn the heat up as much.
Why?
Because they can sometimes serve as a blanket.
Why?
Because they like sleeping on us.
You don't sleep on a blanket, you sleep under a blanket. The blanket goes over you. Go away. Parent Audrey. Why do we want to keep warm?
Because coldness makes us sad.
Why?
Because it makes us shiver.
Why?
Because cold molecules hit your skin.
Why?
Because that is what physics does.
Well, it's really more chemistry than physics. So we will let you go and bring on Parent Daniel.
Mhm.
Why are molecules cold?
Because of the large spaces in between each one of the atoms.
Why?
Because emptiness is the coldest thing of all.
Why?
Because dark matter is a very cold thing.
Why?
Because it's lonely.
Why?
Because the light gets all the attention.
Why?
Because the light gets the spotlight.
Why?
Because stars need spotlights to exist.
Why?
Because they're all theater kids.
Why?
Because their parents made them because they couldn't make it themselves.
Why?
Because they didn't want to go to law school.
Why?
Because they didn't want to do all that reading.
Why?
Because reading is for nerds.
Why?
Because geeks only read comic books.
Why?
Because comic books have pictures in them.
Why?
Because the people who made them like pictures more than words.
Why?
Because pictures tell you what's happening without having to decipher individual syllables.
That sounds like pictures more than words. I think that's a little redundant. And we don't like redundancy. Goodbye. Let's bring on Parent Candace. Why is a picture worth 1,000 words?
Because you can put a lot of images into one picture.
No, I think one picture is one picture. You can't put a lot of pictures into one picture. Goodbye.
I win!
And goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, to our show. But as you know, we are here every week for you, and we don't just have to be here. We can be other places because it's virtual, so we can be almost any place. If you would like us to come to some place that you want us to be, like a birthday party or a corporate event or something else, you can get in contact with us through our website, and we can put on a virtual show there too, because virtual travels really well. Hey, tell your friends about us, tell your social media about us. We're here and we enjoy, the more the merrier. It's very easy to get to, even when it's snowing outside. Easy to get to this show right now. So we'd like to thank all of you for being here and joining us, braving the weather conditions to meet us tonight. We especially would like to thank our volunteers tonight, as always. Thanks especially to Haley, our fam. Thank you so much for inspiring us throughout the show tonight. I had a wonderful, brilliant cast, starting with Candace.
Whoops. I really love my finger and toe pancakes.
We had Daniel.
Were my jokes unbearable tonight?
We had Audrey.
Welcome to the California Ferris wheel.
We had Amy.
Everything is thoroughly Moros Millie now.
We had Tim.
Did you pass the barbecue sauce, Clarice?
We had John.
Letut.
We had Carrie welcoming you all in today. I was your host, Ian. And I'll prove it by showing up. There we are. I was your host, Ian. And
Steve.
Goodbye.
Bye.